I'm Sherry. This is Quilts and Other Happy Accidents. Last month was crazy. I mean to tell you, not only was it crazy for quilting, but it was crazy for things that I did and places I went. I even took my sewing machine with me. All right, let's start over. We started the month by sorting scraps and coming up with a block using my dryer sheets as foundation. Turned out really well and it made a really fun block. So I loaded my scraps, some of my scraps, into this bag and took my sewing machine with me because I was going to see my granddaughters. I was going to be there for 5 days. There's only so much to do in a hotel room while the kids are at school and whatever. I made 20 of these blocks while I was gone. It was great fun and so freeing. I mean, where else can you put cat in the hat fabric together with beach fabric together with whatever? I really did have a lot of fun. So discovered, and I should have realized this, these press really well. I was very worried about the dryer sheets melting when I pressed them. They're dryer sheets. They're meant to be in heat. Anyway, they press really well. So I had my granddaughters, lay some out for me. And one of my granddaughters went kind of with monochromatic. This isn't her block, but I took something from her and I was like, okay, I can do some monochromatic. I just found that was very restrictive and I very quickly went back to just crazy blocks, just use it all, right? And I discovered you guys really like crazy blocks and breaking rules. And I know that because one of my videos was a log cabin block where I threw the rules out. Done. We're going to do log cabin blocks my way. And you can see I have 9 of these blocks behind me. And I haven't really decided what to do with them. I do like them. I like them a lot. But I'm a little concerned if I just put all of those blocks together that it's going to be really, really jumbled looking. And I don't want jumbled. I want something that lots of people would like. I don't want to pigeonhole who this goes to. So I went back through and I found this book. Now, this book I've had forever. I think it's copyrighted 2002. So a good long while. But I remembered this. And I really like the idea of that layout because I can use these blocks and then pair it up with some yardage out of my stash, and we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Really like that idea, and that's probably where that's going to go. Then I had some detective work to do, and you'll remember from Betty's quilt, I had received a bag of scraps from my aunt and uncle, and I made Betty's quilt. And that was a lot of fun. And I do appreciate all of you that came along on that. It's done. I actually went start to finish on that thing and finished it in the month of March. It's bound, it's ready to roll. I had some unique challenges even after I finished the video. Now, I liked that I used a sheet for the backing. I liked that I used the synthetic flannel for the wadding or the batting. That all worked very, very well. I was nearly done quilting and actually working on the binding when I found the sheet had 2 little pinholes. Like I said, it wasn't a new sheet. So I found a way to fix it and patch it, and it's fine, but it turned out really cute. So I really enjoyed that project. But what I really wanted to show you today is the fabric grab. It was on February 28th. I do some volunteer work for an organization here in Kansas City called the Sewing Lab. And I volunteered to help with fabric grab. The bonus for volunteering is you got 4 pounds of free fabric. So fabric grab is exactly what it sounds like. There were bolts of fabric, there were piles of fabric, and there were bags of fabric. And I had actually helped sort some of these. So I kind of knew what I was going to come away with. And I wanted to share you. So Missouri Star Quilting Company is not far from here. Um, and they donated their scraps very generously to Fabric Lab. And we bagged it up into 2-pound bags. Look at all these beautiful batiks. Now, these are not exactly square, they're rectangular and they are a little variable in size. But I can absolutely use these to do some interesting things with. I've been thinking about a wonky triangle quilt. I've been thinking about um, maybe a braid quilt. You know, now these aren't strips, but we've seen that I have oodles of strips. So I just love this fabric. Look at this. Yeah, this is their offcuts, and it was wonderful. Then I got the other bag, and this one I got very intentionally also. It also came from Missouri Star. So this is a 2-pound bag. Oh my goodness, I'm tearing it up. But the reason I got it was because it's all solids. Look at this. Now these are offcuts. I don't know exactly what the dimensions are. Maybe 3 by 6. I don't know. But these solids will really help in some of my quilts because I tend to gravitate to bright colors and prints. And so I'm really looking forward to this. So once Fabric Grab was over, um, they didn't sell everything. They did sell sewing machines, notions, patterns, books. I mean, anything that had been donated. And they raised like $10,000, which is fantastic because that money will help keep the lab going. It'll also help people in the community that want to learn to sew on industrial machines. They do classes and then send them out for apprenticeship projects so that they can be certified on industrial sewing equipment and can be skilled labor. Isn't that fantastic? Anyway, I digress. So Fabric Grab was over and it was on a Saturday. When I went back the next week, because I had something going on, I don't remember, some of the things they hadn't sold got set outside for Free Friday, which is something they always do. And I was like, hey, see what else I can find. I should not do this. Anyway, oh, look, another bag. Now, I don't know if this came from Missouri Star or not, but look all these beautiful strips. A lot of them are 2.5 inch width. Some of them are on a lot of them are on the solid edge. That's fantastic. And then there's some solids, bits and pieces in here. So this bag alone would definitely make a quilt top. And so I started looking for some other ideas, and I came out with some great ideas. First, I looked in my stash and my patterns, and I found something really interesting. I did a mystery quilt with years and years ago, and this is from the March 2004 McCall's Quilting magazine. It's called Cut and Twirl, where you just put strips together and then rotate them so that they make these crazy squares. And I know how much you all like crazy things, so that might be an idea. Also, watch some other people on YouTube, as you do, and Moonkin Stitchery did a really interesting idea that is sort of a variation on a rail fence. There we go. And these small squares are 5 inches, and then the center is like 14.5 inches long. So it's kind of a rail fence variation, but this might be something I could do with these squares because a lot of these are very close to 5 inches. I can modify the pattern if I need to. I can also use strips maybe to make it. So I kind of like that idea. But it's a super simple, fast quilt top. So that's a possibility. And then I came across, what was the name of that? The Hidden Wells block. Now, I've never seen or heard of the Hidden Wells block. Also uses strips, and then cuts them and rotates them. So, lots of ideas. And then there's the braids. I don't really like making braids. And that could be a good combination for these and these. The world is my oyster. Now, moving forward, March isn't the only thing that's going to be mad. My month of April is going to be wackadoodle. I'm flying out to Arizona to drive my parents back. They're snowbirds. And I'm very blessed to have them with me. They're 84 and 86. But I mean, we don't live together anymore. And so we have challenges because for 3 or 4 days, we are together a lot in the car. That's also going to cut into my quilting time. So I'm a little thinking about that. But the really big project that's going to happen in April, I'm having my kitchen redone. We are taking down walls and taking no prisoners. We are starting over. It's the original kitchen from when this house was built in 1970. It needs an upgrade. Anyway, thanks for watching. March Madness absolutely prevailed. April is going to be wackadoodle, but I'm going to take you with me. We're going to camping. We're going to redo the kitchen. We're going to travel and get mom and dad. Thanks for watching.